Welcome Aquarius to your November 2019 reading. I can't believe we are where we are in the year. I'm Jenny Florence. Guys, welcome back to those of you who are already a part of this wonderful and ever-evolving community, ever-growing community. Guys, it's awesome to hear you share your journeys, support one another, support me, and I hope I'm also supporting you in return. I do read the comments and respond to as many as I can. It just is quite mind-blowing to see how you guys are so committed to navigating your lives. I'm just going to say it's like through the eyes of the spiritual warrior. I feel that so strongly and I hear that in your sharing. So just a huge thank you to you all. Anyone new to my channel, welcome. We are the AZ or AZ Emotional Health channel. That's me. My website, the library, is the A to Z of Emotional Health. It's a free resource. Guys, I do lots of free stuff. So if you're interested in any of those things or you're looking for extra resources and support, yeah, just check out the information box. I don't want to talk too much about it. I also do offer a free reading to one of my subscribers every month, so just check out the information below. So guys, we are going to first of all be drawing from the runes and then the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards. Then we're going to be drawing from various tarot packs, and depending on what I'm called to do, whatever channels through, I mean, we're basically going to be drawing a lot of cards because this is a full monthly reading. Let's dive into the runes. Wow, guys, we've actually drawn three runes in one go. Now that's unusual, but they kind of cling to you when your hand is in the bag. So we have breakthrough, the rune of breakthrough, massive transformation, self-change. This rune actually says whatever that change is about, the outcome is assured. It's very reassuring in one way, but it also says that it may not be in the shape or form that you expect. Okay, now that connects in beautifully with the astrology that's around, so I'll touch base with that in just a moment. We then have the rune of possessions. This is lovely. Ambition satisfied, fulfillment. It asks you not to collapse yourself into your success. Remember to share, remember to be humble. It also comes with an invitation to really evaluate in terms of what you actually want. So whatever this transition is, this transformation, this breakthrough in relation to your own personal evolution, you are called to really evaluate whatever it is that you personally desire. We then have the rune of opening. This is a rune of renewed clarity. Within relationships, this rune speaks of non-attached giving, the ability to be an independent, autonomous human being within a relationship where there's a mutuality of giving and receiving. We give for the joy of giving without any kind of specific expectation. You know how some people will give, but they give because they have an agenda attached to their giving. Well, the runes, I don't know if you can hear them there. They're kind of shuffling around on their own. They're literally sitting on my lap. I'm not moving at all, so they're chuntering away. We're going to be drawing another one, that's for sure. So, as I say, back to this rune. I always think of it as a rune of self-responsibility. It's like we gain really clear intention, we gain clear concentration in order to take action with clarity, but from a basis of self-awareness, self-responsibility. It also carries that, I'm going to just say, that wonderfully human perspective of being, it's like recognizing our limitations and yet knowing we are sort of endless in possibility simultaneously. Okay, so an interesting kind of energy here in terms of your own transformation. And again, yeah, there's so much promise here. Ambition satisfied, fulfillment, desires achieved. Very lovely energy. Very, very empowered energy, actually. There's quite a, it's like holding them in my hand, there's quite a dynamic kind of tingling to them. Let's draw another rune. our last rune, we have the rune of joy. This is a fruit-bearing rune. It's a rune of light. A shift has occurred. You come to yourself in some way. It's almost like the soul returning home, but within you. It's like a light bulb moment. That's really what I want to say. You've traversed some journey. You've traversed either some difficulty or some unclear state of mind. You've come to yourself. It sometimes also says you may change your plans, but if you do so, you change them because you have greater clarity. So it generally means something really good has happened that causes you to change your plans. It's kind of like meeting the love of your life and thinking, do you know what, I was so work orientated, but that now takes a back seat. You know, it's kind of, it connects in again with this sort of, what do you actually want? What makes you feel satisfied? What brings you happiness? What brings you contentment? You have an opportunity to evaluate and kind of actually get there as well. I mean, that's the energy of this rune here. Very magnificent. I can see changes here this month for you. It feels like a month of transition where, if we're listening to just the energy of the runes at this moment, obviously we'll be drawing a lot of cards as well for additional clarification and guidance. But I would say the energy of these runes is really talking about quite a light bulb breakthrough kind of month for you guys. The outcome is assured, though not always as expected. So you may change direction. You might even take almost a 180-degree turn. You might decide on a completely different route. If you do so, it's because you truly know what you want. So there's there's a flavour of joy, of light, of realisation here. Very lovely energy. As I said, it's kind of sparkling actually for you guys. I'm loving doing the reading. I can sort of feel that energy flowing through me as I'm connecting in. It's wonderful, actually, really wonderful. Oh, I was just going to talk about the astrology, wasn't I? Here I am bathing and basking in your energy, Aquarius, or Aquarius rising, or moon in Aquarius, or if you're cross-watching even. I hope you're picking up on this. It's very, very magical. We're now in the territory of Mercury retrograde. Now, we often see Mercury retrograde, or we read about it in what I would call through a negative lens, that it creates hold-ups, diversions, things don't run smoothly. If we look at the Mercury retrograde energy in a self-empowered, positive light, we recognise that any diversions are there because it helps us to see things differently. The Mercury retrograde energy allows for reflection. It brings light into those places of darkness. It removes the fog. It might bring about fog and people might think, nothing's running as I thought it would. But when we come out of that fog, we see with a greater clarity. Now, I don't feel like you guys are actually sort of surrounded by fog, interestingly enough. It's more that it's almost like you're ready. You're at this pivotal moment of potential breakthrough, and it feels as though the energy is around you for literally, it is those light bulb moments, that sort of, we can ponder on a question and absorb ourselves in a problem in order to try and find a solution. It's almost as though when we put it down and we walk away, you kind of, I don't know, you're in the shower or something and that light bulb moment comes and you get the answer. That's the flavour. It's kind of got zing to it, really. And as I said, I'm kind of basking in this energy while I'm doing this reading. It's really lovely. Okay, so we have a card of persevere. It's an interesting energy because that would suggest the need to persevere. I'll read the messages on the Art of Manifestation cards. They have very clear guidance. Who would have thought that a humble acorn could grow into a mighty oak tree? But of course, this takes time. Whatever you are involved in, this card brings a message of reassurance. Your hard work and continued effort and dedication will come to fruition. You are asked to persevere and to trust. Okay, guys, so I feel like maybe you have been processing something. I don't feel it's new. And maybe you are needing to just continue in a way that leaves you, I'm going to say, non-attached to the outcome. You know, sometimes we have to literally put it down, walk away, and it's in the shower we get that light bulb moment. Or something will come along. This is an interesting card that we now have. You've done nothing wrong. Okay, it says whatever has taken place was out of your control and out of your hands. This card asks you to let go of any feelings of guilt or personal blame. This was not your fault. You've done nothing wrong. Okay, guys, I'm not seeing a fog, but what I am seeing is it feels like you've been carrying a weight of something, or there has been difficulty in, yeah, it literally is in seeing something clearly. I'm really reassured by the energy of these runes that that clarity is coming, actually. You are needing to evaluate from your own perspective. Put aside anything that's being handed to you in terms of packages of guilt. Self-responsibility, I spoke about that in terms of this rune of opening. Ultimately, if we ever make a mistake, and we all do because it's just part of being human, I'm not saying you have, but you know, if you feel that, or somebody is accusing you of doing something wrong, or you feel you didn't make the best of choices, put down any emotional attachment to that. That's what I'm really hearing, because if we make a mistake, all we can actually ever do is put it right. And if somebody sort of persists in making you feel bad about it, and you've already apologised, I mean, you can't go back and change it. To be honest, if someone won't accept an apology, the problem now is theirs, it's not yours. You know, we can only do what we can do. And, you know, guilt is not an emotion that we should be carrying around like a ball and chain, okay? Guilt is actually an amazing emotion. I write and speak a lot about emotions. It's why this channel is the AZ Emotional Health. It's why my website is all about emotional health. Guilt's the amazing emotion that gives us a conscience. Yeah, people who don't have guilt don't have a conscience. They don't care. And it's often people who accuse others and make them feel guilty that actually don't carry any guilt themselves. So I'm very curious. We're going to draw from one of the other tarot packs now. We'll be drawing more from the Art of Manifestation cards in a moment. But just for now, we're going to be drawing from one of the tarots. Let's see what's really happening. We've had a card literally leap out. Bear with me while I pick it up. Guys, we have the card of falling in love. Okay, this is the card of falling in love. This is the card of, I'm going to say sometimes it's infatuation as well. We have the card of the Star. Okay, Seven of Pentacles. There's some reaching out to be done. Oh, guys, Page of Cups. Right, this is very interesting. I'm just gonna pull out all these cards. Then we'll draw some more clarifiers as well. Okay, guys, so this is the card of falling in love. The interesting thing about this card is that it can sometimes indicate that we've, I don't know, you know when you fall in love and really the person you fall in love with isn't the whole person. When we meet people, we only see the bit that they present to us, and in fairness, we often only present the best of ourselves too. So I feel as though actually there is some aspect of relationship in your reading in terms of a light bulb moment or renewed clarity. It's as though you're carrying some kind of or you end up carrying some kind of a concern or an underlying worry, or it's as though I think you're taking too much responsibility. Actually, that's what I'm hearing. You're taking responsibility for somebody else. Sometimes, again, in relationships, we merge a little bit. It's the way we are. The joy of a relationship is when it moves forwards and we actually get to see one another for who we really are. and we can evaluate with clarity and work out whether we can genuinely make each other happy. You know, that's the basis of a wonderful, conscious relationship. It's as though some of you maybe are navigating the beginning of a relationship, and that's often fraught with a little bit of insecurity. You know, on both sides, I'm going to say it's a human thing, isn't it? I don't think we can start a relationship without raising any insecurities at all, because we all have them and they go right back to childhood. They don't just come from our adult relationships. The Star is a lovely card. This is renewed hope. So guys, I feel like it doesn't feel epic. You might experience something as epic if there's a miscommunication or an argument in some way, or it's not moving forwards. Again, Mercury retrograde, maybe it's not moving forwards as you would like to, or maybe on the other hand you're concerned about it moving forwards. You're a little bit anxious about committing too early. I don't know, I think it could go both ways here. But actually, everything here says it's okay. There is renewed hope. You do gain clarity here. You may actually feel as though you've opened Pandora's box. You know, sometimes we can say something, can't we? And then suddenly think, oh, why did I say that? You know, and again, it opens up our insecurities and our fears. There's a need to reach out and be really direct about what you would like. Conscious relationships, that's really coming through here. Conscious relationships are about owning our mistakes, you know, recognising none of us get everything right. We're not perfect, and no one is. Even if we feel like we've sort of met perfection or we're seeking perfection, the reality is no one's perfect. There's a reaching out to be done, and I'm going to say a sharing of exactly how you feel. And that's going to move things forwards in a much more real kind of way. I feel like passions get reignited. This is this rune of joy, a fruit-bearing rune. A shift occurs. You come to yourself in some way. Sometimes the Page of Cups can suggest somebody who is a little bit narcissistic. Now, if somebody within a relationship is causing you to feel a little bit guilty, or as if you've done something wrong, I would ask you to evaluate what's actually there. As I've said, if somebody is making you feel guilty and you've apologised and they're not letting anything go, then I think the problem sits with them, and that warrants a little bit more investigation. You need to see them clearly for who they are before you move something forwards, or indeed drive away. But sometimes also this card is really asking you to look at yourself, look in the mirror. Are you carrying any residue of guilt from the past, or were you made to feel guilty or as if you got everything wrong as a child? And is that now impacting on the way that you feel about yourself, particularly within relationship? I feel as though you reach, as I said, this is like a light bulb kind of reading. It's like the energy is available to you for moments, pivotal moments of awareness, those breakthrough moments. And everything gets to, I think, as the month moves through, move on. As we head towards the new moon in Sagittarius. Wonderful time, guys, as we head towards the end of the month, for you to be really connecting in with the energy of moving things forwards. It's interesting, we have, you know, a kind of an energy of renewed passion, renewed vitality, and it's coming into you. It's either an injection of passion and renewed direction that's coming in because somebody comes in and gives you that. I'm more inclined to think this energy is you. You find renewed clarity, and that gives you renewed direction, renewed opportunities. I'm actually going to draw from another tarot pack that connects into the kind of people, the energy of people and the dynamics of people that are around us. I'd like to see some little bit of clarity around what these cards are speaking about. Interesting. We have the Three of Fire. New horizons, new opportunities. Ten of Fire. This is realigning yourself. This is realigning, rebalancing, reconnecting, learning to channel your energy consciously. Very exciting cards. Five of Water. You're going to go deep, guys. You're going to go deep. You're going to go deep, and you are going to connect to passion. You are going to be revitalized, and you are going to be very, very self-aware. This is, wow, very powerful dynamic in these. I'm just going to draw a couple more of these cards just to see where they sit in relation to these aspects of the reading, particularly the Page of Cups and the Knight of Wands. I'm wanting to know where your energy sits, or whether somebody else is in your world that you're needing to be, particularly aware of. Okay, Perception is sitting under the Page of Cups. Wow, guys. Yeah, this is your energy. This is you. Knight of Wands, renewed passion, renewed energy. This is you, guys. So, guys, let's go through these cards one at a time, and then we're going to be drawing again some more. Three of Fire. Exploration, discovery, explore different pathways. I want to say find out more. There's definitely a time, this is I think part of the energy of this reaching out. This is this breakthrough period. If we have to sort of immerse ourselves into an experience to really discover what it might hold for us. That's the kind of flavour here. But somehow, some sort of residue of something is hanging around. It's either happened already, or it happens at some point in the early part of the month. In some way you are feeling pretty fulfilled, and yet there's also a sense of, I'd say some confusion, but it comes from somebody else. That's what I want to say. So you start out in a place of, I think there's a lot of hope around you, a lot of, there's this sort of energy of renewed, falling in love, new hope, new possibility. But you're kind of also on a voyage of discovery whenever we start anything new, whether it's a project or a relationship, or some phase of life. We are slightly stepping into unknown territory. The Ten of Fire speaks of self-mastery, taking charge of your life, being responsible for your own actions. So very, very impressive connection again to this rune of opening. Self-awareness, self-responsibility, clear intent. The Five of Water can sometimes suggest a sense of isolation, of being alone. Sometimes we get hurt by something, which this card also suggests. I am questioning or concerned that there is the energy around you of someone who is not being entirely themselves. Now, I'm going to swing this both ways, because this is a generic reading, so it affects different people in different ways. But I feel as though there is the energy of someone around you. I use the word narcissism. Someone who's not kind of really being completely authentic. It may be, guys, and you maybe aren't being entirely authentic, or not being honest with yourself about someone that you really, really like. You're choosing to see them through rose-coloured glasses. But actually you're being asked to refine some clarity, and I'm going to say it comes this month. But it's a travelling within. It's gaining the insight and remaining grounded, remaining clear, looking beyond perception, whether that's the way someone presents themselves to you or the lens through which you're looking at them. That's where the element of clarity is going to come to you. Boundary yourself, guys. Hold your boundaries. Get yourself grounded, centered. Don't allow your own routine, your own goals and objectives to be thrown off course on the basis of somebody else's desires, hopes and dreams. Hold on to your own direction. If you then need to course correct, it needs to be because you choose to, not because you feel obliged to. There's a flavour of that here. It really does feel as though there is some aspect of someone around you, and, you know, as we often do in relationship, we get to a space emotionally where we're not sure what belongs to us and what belongs to them from an emotional point of view. Especially in the early stages of a relationship, although this can sometimes be, you know, we can find ourselves having been in a relationship for a long, long time, and we suddenly sort of wake up and think, do you know, I don't even know this person, you know. It's one of those sort of evolutionary, transformationary processes, but it's important because it's bringing about entirely new, it's like turbocharged injections of passion, of desire, of clarity for you. So this is a valuable time, even if you're having to sort of navigate something carefully. But navigate the way in which others present themselves to you, as well as the way in which you are looking, excuse me, as well as the way in which you are looking at them. Okay, guys, so perception, I think we understand. You know, this card also suggests that you do gain clarity. We then have the King of Air. I was questioning, is this somebody else's energy coming in, or is this yours? This is yours, guys. This is you. It's that wonderful Aquarius ability to have an analytical mind, keeping your judgment clear, processing life experiences, your ethics, your sense of, again, personal responsibility. Really hold firm to who you are, guys. Don't allow your values, remember we talked in the runes of actually allowing yourself to work out what it is that you actually want, what matters to you, what are your values. Whoever is around you, they are helping you to define yourself. And I'm going to say I think it swings both ways here. I think for some of you, you are defining yourself through quite a healing experience of someone who is helping to bring clarity into your life and renewed passion and renewed hope and renewed energy. For others, it is as though somebody's a bit like they're a kind of a devil's advocate. Somebody's in your world and they may not be being entirely upfront with you, but in itself they are also bringing you a profound amount of learning. And we define the things that we desire and the things we want through our good experiences. We also define them through the things that don't work for us. So for me, it feels like there's a polarity here, and the energy could affect some of you in one way and some of you in another. I'm actually going to draw now from the Archangel cards, one of the Archangel packs that I have. Wonderful. Breathe. Archangel Raphael, take several deep breaths and exhale slowly to awaken your energy and to release old patterns. Okay. Guys, really, again, self-awareness is the key here. Self-awareness is self-empowerment. When we understand what's happening within us and we really know ourselves, we then know if we are being affected by the energy of someone else. It puts us in the driving seat. Not only can we give clear feedback, we can reach out. If we really recognise we have some aspect of ourselves that we need help with, we can also, again, reach out for professional help, even for counselling, for support. Again, even checking in readings like this. It's part of our part of the tools we have to navigate life. So many things that are out there and available for us. It's not just energy patterns, though. I'm going to ask you to breathe in order to remain centred. It's like keeping your own energy clean. Remain centred. Don't be sort of blown over by circumstances. Again, keeping yourself centred, keeping your boundaries is going to stop any underlying aspect of emotional confusion, sort of overwhelming or affecting you. Ah, lovely. Beautiful card. Archangel Chamuel. Beloved one, I am helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. Very clear message, very clear message. Whether that is helping you to persevere in a relationship or within a relationship that exists, or even in a new relationship, or indeed whether it is asking you to persevere in your quest to find the right person, you are receiving support and help in this area, and you are being asked literally to heal from the inside out, to gain your own clarity, to discover, to be curious, without judgment. Hold your boundaries. Don't allow other people's, as I said, don't allow other people's energy to overload or affect you. And be certain that your own perception is not shrouded with experiences from the past. And now we have a card, Clairsentience. Archangel Raguel. Notice your recurring physical and emotional feelings as they signify divine guidance. This is an interesting card, guys, because I think keeping your analytic mind is really, really helpful. Using your analytic mind to process what you are actually feeling is part of that collaboration of energy that allows you to recenter, realign, and to gain clarity. If we are too much in our head, then we are often looking at things not with an analytical mindfulness. We are looking at things through the analysis of past experiences. And there is a difference. It's the same with emotions. Sometimes the emotions we feel are more to do with responses that are triggered from sort of almost like past emotional memories, as opposed to what I would call experiences, emotional experiences that are giving us really clear information about what's going on right now. And it's a real life skill to learn within ourselves. That's this empowerment of self-awareness, to learn, which kind of what kind of thinking am I involved in at the moment? What kind of feeling am I involved in the moment? Are my emotions to do with emotional scar tissue, past experience? Or are they a really clear indication of what's going on right now with someone? Am I looking at someone through the lens of past experiences and expectations, or am I looking at someone through the eyes of genuine kind of analysis and discovery and curiosity, to literally find out who they really are? Can we make one another happy? Is this the right pathway to be following? It's a really useful tool to sort of, I think, develop that level of awareness within us. And I think this month brings you this, actually. Guys, I'm just going to draw from just one more card from the the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards. Grace. We have the card of Grace. I love this card. Beautiful energy to it. This card says, I'll just place it there. When we sit in relationship with grace, we see every situation through the eyes of love, fostering our desire to meet life with understanding, compassion, and kindness. This card asks that you view your situation with grace. Will understanding bring compassion? How would love view your possible choices? What would kindness suggest that you do? This is a wonderful tool. I think grace is that amazing little voice within us that puts the brakes on sometimes and says, you don't have to react to that. It puts the brakes on and says, you don't have to feel, isolated or worried about this. It's going to work out. You don't have to feel buffeted by someone else. Let's stand back and think about this. You know, they're on their own journey. We don't have to feel triggered by other people. If we are, it simply offers us an avenue of internal journeying and internal learning. You know, grace is that extraordinary quality, and we all have it. It's that deeper inner voice that kicks in, and it brings about those magical light bulb moments. It's really interesting, guys, the flavour of this reading. And whilst I'm going to say there is some journeying to be done this month, I do feel as though you have an opportunity to gain a considerable amount of genuine insight in a profoundly illuminative sort of way, and a way that allows you to actually know what your pathway of fulfillment is, to know which choices, decisions, changes you are going to make, because they are truly right for you, literally right at a level of soul. Guys, so much love to you. It's been a real joy to do the reading for you. I'm still kind of tingling. It's got this fascinating paradox of energy in this, but so much opportunity for like an awakening here. And I think that is how your month is going to evolve. The flavour I have is that whatever we're talking about, it's already around you. You're already tackling the beginnings of this. I don't think what I'm talking about, as I said, whichever side of the coin you're sitting, as I said, I do feel it sort of swings two ways. Wherever you're sitting with that, I think you already know about it. And what I hear is everything does move forwards, you know, perseverance. Everything is going to evolve just as it should. And the key here is the kind of being in touch with your inner voice and allowing that to guide you with grace, with understanding, with compassion. It's very, very lovely energy of sort of, there is quite a healing quality to this actually, guys, but it comes from your own insight, your own awareness, your own groundedness, your own centeredness. So guys, so much love to you, and I look forward to seeing you maybe for some of the weekly readings. I normally post one on a Sunday for weekly guidance, and yeah, the big monthlies, of course. And of course, do check out the resources below, and if you'd like to be in the running for a free private reading, the information is also in the information box below. Guys, so much love to you. Take it easy.